Now, I know what some of you are thinking or ready to type in the comments. Really, Thor? Another video complaining about the sequel trilogy? Can't we just move on from this already? Well, yes and no, because though I will be talking a bit about the sequels here, and honestly, I don't know that I'll ever fully stop talking about them. What I want to focus on in this video is a project I've pretty much only mentioned in passing until now, one that I'm hoping a few of you out there can perhaps help me with, which I'll talk more about towards the end of what should be a fairly short video. And the project I am talking about here is a version of the sequel trilogy I'm going to be doing for fun. And I want to stress fun because I don't have the audacity to claim this is how they should have been or anything like that. Only that this is how I would have done them in some alternate reality where it had been up to me, and you may or may not end up liking what I came up with. But either way, I look forward to eventually sharing it with you and hearing your thoughts, even if you end up hating it, which is fine. I won't call you a man baby or anything. Anyway, the story for this is something I've been plotting and planning out for the past several months now, since even before The Rise of Skywalker came out, and I've only recently started writing my version of Episode 7, or writing it in earnest, I should say, because I wanted to know where I was going before I took my first step on this journey. Nor did I just want to find and tell a story, I wanted to find a good reason to tell this story. And in order to do that, I first had to answer a very difficult question. Is there actually something still worth telling in the Skywalker Saga? Is there a way to continue or add to this story, to these characters we've seen in the previous 6 films, in a truly meaningful way? And if so, what is it and how do I convey it? Because my absolute biggest gripe with the sequels is it feels like they were just tacked on for the sake of it, like we could remove them without losing anything truly significant to the overall story. In fact, the ending we get in The Rise of Skywalker is nearly identical to the one we get in Return of the Jedi, only instead of it being implied Luke would be the one to rebuild the Jedi Order after his father Anakin destroyed the Emperor, it's now implied Rey will do it after she destroyed the Emperor. The only real difference between the two is that this time all the Sith, I guess, were destroyed along with Palpatine, even though as far as we know, the prophecy that was supposed to be fulfilled by Anakin said that all the Sith would be destroyed, assuming of course it wasn't misread as Yoda implied it may have been. But then again, according to the end of Return of the Jedi, it looks like they did get it right since Anakin destroyed both Darth Vader and Darth Sidious. Either way, I'll spoil it here and now and tell you that I will not be bringing the Sith back in my version of the sequels. Anakin's last heroic act will not be undone, though that's not to say he doesn't yet have a part to play in all this. Instead, one of the core ideas here is to explore what perhaps is the true, or what was the original purpose of the Jedi, which involves bringing in a new, yet at the same time very old enemy that threatens to do more than just take over the galaxy. But since I don't want to spoil too much too soon, I'll just say that part of the idea here is to take some elements from the expanded universe, some from what I think George Lucas was going for with his version of the sequel trilogy, based on the limited information we have, and blend them with some of my own ideas. And having said that, I suppose I can mention that 2 of the main characters in this will be the Solo twins. And I've already had a few artists working on designs for them, among working on many other designs, a few of which I'll show here in a moment, and they range from looking very realistic to much more stylized and even cartoony in some cases. And do note that nothing here is finalized. And that kind of brings us to the part of the video where I'm going to ask for help, but before I do, I should perhaps mention that I've already had a mock-up of the opening crawl for Episode 7 done, a link to which can be found in the comments below if you'd like to check it out and give me your thoughts. Anyway, though I've already brought several artists on board, and thank you to those who have joined up and all the work you've done thus far, I am looking for a few more yet to do anything from concept art to working on or drawing and helping create the final product. And speaking of the final product, what I am hoping for this to look like is something akin to a motion comic, where we move from panel to panel more or less with perhaps some minimal level of animation involved. Most of these panels will be done in a simpler, more stylistic way in order for this to be completed in a somewhat timely manner, while at the same time creating a few, perhaps a dozen or so, very detailed and impactful images to capture some of the bigger moments of the story. So if any of these roles sound good to you, be it concept art, drawing in mass more or less, or creating a couple truly stunning detailed images, contact me at the email address in the description below, and we'll go from there. Just know ahead of time that this is a voluntary thing, And even if you are brought on board, I'm bringing in probably more than are actually needed, and whoever can fill certain roles will fill them, while others may ultimately end up not having a place in this. Basically, please only contact me if you are really interested in this and you feel like it's something you want to do and have the time for. Also, yes, I will be using voice actors for this. I currently have a few roles filled, in fact, and I have been contacted by several other people wanting to audition. Currently, however, I am not looking for them just yet, but will be soon enough. When that time comes, I'll either make another video similar to this one, maybe giving some updates, or put a call out in one of my Let's Talk Some Star Wars videos. So please do not contact me about that just yet. Same goes for music. I actually already have someone doing a full Star Wars score for this. The only other thing I perhaps would be looking for right now is a skilled animator or two with a lot of free time on their hands to help out a bit. Lastly, if you do contact me about this, it may be a couple days before you hear back, because I just finished moving into a new place, and I'm currently in the process of getting unpacked and settled in, which is why I'm putting this call out now. I wanted to get this move out of the way before moving full speed ahead on this project. Well, that's all I've got for you this time. Now it's your turn to tell me what you think of my idea based on the little bit you heard here, or you can go check out the opening crawl and tell me what you think of that. Or any interested artist can contact me at the email address in the description below. Whatever the case may be, leave a comment somewhere, and let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.